Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So I haven't been posting for a while, and that is because I have gotten my third child, a baby daughter, and yeah, you know how it is. It's a big transition for the family, and I just simply didn't get time to do the research and post, and I really missed YouTube. And now my daughter is 8 days old, I think, today, and things are calming down, and I feel confident that I can keep up posting the content, but I'm not sure I will be still able to do content every day, but I will try. So as a first video, I missed so much. I missed AIPCon. By the way, I'm going to do a video on that. I just finished reading the Walter Isaacson book about Elon Musk. Fantastic read. I don't know, let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video about that. That was quite mind-blowing for me. But I'm going to start with an easy one. Finally, there's an interview with Alex Karp. There has been some interviews lately, but there was a quite long period when he wasn't giving any interviews, and I really like reacting to his interviews because it gives really an insight into the company. You can see his demeanor, his confidence, his jokes. You can kind of read off how the company is doing. And in this interview, I'm just going to show you the relevant parts, because the first half of the video is just philosophy, and I think he kind of says the same thing every interview. But then he gets to ask, he gets to be asked some questions about growth and AIP, and I think that's really important for us as Palantir shareholders. So please make sure you're subscribed if you haven't. And you can always talk to me on X at @VinceIsBullish, the same as the channel name. And before we start, I just want to address one thing. So there has been so many posts on Twitter about that Palantir is working on a new VR, AR goggle, and that's their new product. And I just want to say a few things. So I think that thing has a higher chance of being Alex Karp's, ski goggles than an AR VR goggle. And even if that is an AR and VR goggle that Palantir is working on, it's probably not something. So there's a reason why you are excited about a software company and not a hardware company. It's because software companies are way more scalable, have much higher margins, and that is Palantir's specialty. If they ever end up making a VR AR set, I can see that in an army setting, but I guarantee you it's not going to be a mass market product, and I don't think that the actual hardware is going to have very high margins. It's their software that is going to run on it that is going to create the margins. So it's very funny, very nice, very intriguing with these speculations, but even if it's true, it's not something that is going to move the needle for Palantir. So stop being excited about it. Now let's get to this interview.
And in private. So Alex, we have a question for you from the New York Stock Exchange.
Alex, it's Sarah Eisen. It's great to hear this color and the philosophy behind how we think about AI and regulation. I'm curious, though, what it's going to mean for your business, because there has been a lot of enthusiasm and excitement in the market around Palantir as an AI play. What does growth look like from governments, from commercial, from international, as we adopt generative AI?
I think for us and for everyone, what you're going to see is radical growth in the U.S., slower growth in Europe. Growth in the U.S. because people are going to adopt the best, most robust, most useful technologies, and very quickly. What you're going to see in the market, and then I'll get to us, is you're going to see in the market, you've had a massive interest in AI. Many of these products deliver poetry and will allow me to write an essay maybe I know nothing about. The products that are going to do well in the sense that people are going to pay for them are going to have output differentials. So you're going to change the margins of a business. You're going to rebuild a supply chain. You're going to move a company from an individual point-based company to a portfolio way of managing it. And those companies are going to succeed in the U.S. market.
So I love that he said this, actually, because there has been quite a lot of competitive products that have been coming out, and even I must admit I became worried when I saw a presentation by Google and also that I saw that ChatGPT is going to have a company version that was specifically made for companies. And I really love how he addressed these questions, because it's actually true. These AI tools, they help you write poetry and emails and marketing tests, but they don't really change the margins or the output of a business. Whereas Palantir products, they actually are game changers in the business. And I really love that he said this, and this to me is the main competitive advantage of Palantir. And then the second thing, obviously, that I really liked is that, which he also reiterated, no, he's reiterating it here, but in AIPCon, he also talked about it, that they don't have personnel enough to be able to handle the demand, which is nuts. And they are changing their go-to-market strategy, and I'm going to do a video just on that, because I don't feel that this was somehow picked up by the YouTube finance community, that Palantir is changing the go-to-market strategy because they're doing all these boot camps, and that's because they don't have enough people to handle the demand that is coming in. So that is crazy good.
How are we doing? It's very early days, and you don't want to be out there being too optimistic, and we're being very careful to kind of move slower than we could, but we de facto cannot keep up with demand for our AIP product.
What do you mean you're trying to move slower than you could? We want you to move faster than you could.
These precursor technologies that are not understood yet, but the clients understand them because they are asking, how do I work with a large language model in a safe way, a governed way, where I can make them more precise and change the underlying dynamics of my business within days. And what we've seen is, in the last month, a 50% increase in people using our AIP product in a month. So, the other thing about...
Can I interrupt you, Alex?
So 50% increase, again, we heard this at the AIPCon. It's fantastic in a way and not exciting in another way, as we know that the AIP product itself is not a revenue driver. They don't have a pricing strategy, and they're trying to take the whole market. And as we know from CodeStrap, you cannot just buy AIP. So even if they're giving AIP for free, it's like sort of a Trojan horse that makes you have to buy Foundry, Gotham, or Apollo, or the other products that Palantir offers. So this is, as you said, it's very, very early days, and we have to keep this in mind as investors, that we are in the very, very early days where our beloved company is even trying to figure out how to monetize this thing. But the numbers do look promising. I mean, the fact that there's 50% user growth and so many more customers are using it is definitely a very good sign.
We have another question for you from the New York Stock Exchange. I want to get some of our anchor questions in as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
Yes,
Alex, it's David Faber. I just want to follow up on that. In terms of productivity and what's going to be available to the enterprise as a result of the adoption that you're talking about. One step down from threat to humanity, but what about threat to workers? Where are you in terms of how many jobs will be replaced as opposed to potentially simply aided to go work on higher end things?
This is a super important question. Typically technology is misaligned with the worker, and so there's obviously a lot of concern among working men and women that radical increase in technological development will lead to a decrease in jobs and put pressure on their salaries. I think AI incorrectly implemented. So not long ago, we had 1% of the U.S. hospital care market. Now we have 16%. What is going on with this radical increase? We're making doctors and nurses more effective. We're making factory workers more effective. By the way, one of the most important attributes of AI that's not been discovered yet and will be discovered is you can take manufacturing that maybe has been culturally specific to Japan or Korea, and we have one company that is a Japanese company producing a highly technical product in America, just like they produce it in Japan, with American workers. And why can they do that? Because through enhanced software, algorithms, and AI, we can control the manufacturing environment for Americans as if it was Japan. That means American work. So then you get the agility, creativity, ingenuity of America with methodologies we've not been able to produce here in the largest and most important market in the world. So I think, and this is a message that's going to take, we actually have to show rather than tell, because workers are going to be skeptical, but it's actually true.
We can keep this conversation going all day. Also today, you're announcing 2 new commercial customers in the private equity space. I know you said there's more demand for your products in the financial space as well. Dr. Alex Karp, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for talking to us. Hopefully you'll come back and we can talk.
So that was the interview, guys. Overall, I'm happy with what I'm hearing, but obviously we are in the very, very early days and we need the next earnings call to see what is actually happening with the finances. Palantir has been announcing full of partnerships, new customers. This guy, Ether Square, on Twitter is finding new and more links of new companies using Palantir that have not been announced yet. We are about 1 week away from the NHS deal in the UK being announced. So what we see is new customers. We hear that it's new customers. We see a very confident, smiling CEO here. So I like what we're seeing, but we need to wait for those earnings calls to see what's happening with the numbers. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.